Alright, so this is a board I bought on eBay maybe half a year ago. It is supposed to be a Gremlin Head-On board. It's similar, or is a dual Vic board, similar to Carnival and such games like that. This board is really nasty, so before I do anything with this, I'm going to throw it in the dishwasher and wash it and see how clean it comes. These EPROMs I'm just going to leave in there. These should be 2708s. Yes, they are the 2708s. Just leave them in there because I'm probably going to re-engineer this board and get rid of these and put a Unirom in the processor, and hopefully this works so the board will function. If this is bad, then no video will happen. This is the Vic chip and it's custom, and when they go out they're getting hard to find. So the RAMs are here. It looks like all the RAMs are here. Got some sockets though. I'll need to research this and see if any of these need to be populated with anything. I think most of them are supposed to be empty. I'll have to figure all that out. I think this EPROM slot is supposed to be empty. I don't think it's missing one. Don't know what this is, and not sure about these. So I'll have to do some research and see which chips, if any, are missing. But first things first is I'm going to throw this in the dishwashing machine and get her clean. Alright, so my next project, my next arcade repair attempt is going to be this board that I bought on eBay a few months ago. It's a Gremlin Head-On, and it was really filthy, and so I stuck it in the dishwasher and turned it on, and it got most of it. There's a couple places here that I've scrubbed with alcohol and it wouldn't even come off, so maybe something more powerful than that might clean it. But basically the board is pretty clean now. It's actually not disgusting to handle. So I don't have a test harness for this, so that'll be the first order of business. I've got some wires and I'm accumulating to build the harness. And I've been looking at the schematics, and at first I'm not going to connect up any controls. I'm just going to connect up this power connector and this video connector. And I also see this connector here. It's called color video, this connector. It's not on the schematics that I have found, so I might investigate this. It looks like it's hooked up. It looks like it's got the red, green, and blue biasing resistors there, so it may actually have color video. I'll get the power hooked up first, and then I'll use my scope and see if there's any signals here. Probably red, green, blue, sync, and ground is all I would need off that, but it's not documented, so I got to figure that out. And now this video here is black and white. This connector here is black and white video. It's just got composite video and a ground. That's it. Just 2 pins are needed there. The control panel plugs into these connectors, or at least one of these connectors. And this is the coin door, so I'll need to figure out something there to be able to coin it up. But at first, all I'm going to try to do is get it to run, not worrying about controls, not worrying about playing games, just to get it to display. These RAMs here, these are DRAMs. These are 4015s. 4027s would also work, but 4015s won't work in a board that was designed with 4027s in mind because they're too slow. That's the only difference. The pinout's the same, it's the same size, but these are slower. So I have a tester. I have one of those retro chip testers that I built, but I haven't updated the firmware, and I got one of the very first ones that he sold, and so the firmware is like version 1 or something. So I need to get a programmer and update it in order to be able to test these. But I can still power this thing up and see if it works with the ones that are there. And if it does, then I can conclude they're good without having to get the tester. But I bet at least one of these are bad. I bet at least one. These are 2708 EPROMs. I think all the EPROMs are here. I believe this is supposed to be empty. You'll see a bunch of empty sockets here. From pictures that I've seen on the internet, they're also empty. In all the board Head-On PCB boards that I've seen. So I think everything's populated here. So the board is solid. It's fully populated. So I'm ready to start building the harness, and I will be back. I've got a test harness mostly finished here. Still got some things left open because I might need to make some changes. One thing I was noticing, that the reset to the processor was stuck low all the time, unless I did something with this third pin on the power thing. This is called AC, and when you follow the path of it on the schematics, it goes to this 555 timer, this little 8-pin chip guy. I figured out by tying this high, it allows this to not constantly reset, or not keep the processor in constant reset. So doing that, it looks like I get a good reset on power up, and the reset stays high, so it's not being reset. But here's the video. I'm getting junk on the screen. Obviously the sync is wrong. I can change on my test fixture positive and negative sync. So there's positive sync, there's negative sync. So I'm getting a signal, but it appears to be wrong. So at this point, I'm going to need to print out schematics. I'm using the color connector because I probed with the scope. The first pin appears to be sync. The second appears to be a key or ground, I forget. I'm sorry, a key. It's not connected. And then the third one was ground, and then the next three are video. So I'm going to set this connector up to do RGB, and also have it where it can plug into this connector so I can test black and white as well. The sync, as you can see, I'm tapping off of it, and this would be the same sync I use for both black and white video and color video. Maybe I've got the wrong pin for that. I don't think so, though. I think that is going to be sync. So I need to get the schematics and figure that out. But I probably got a bad counter or bad logic in that sync chain. So, all right, so let me print the schematics, and I will start looking at this board with scope action. Okay, so the clock is generated here, okay, by a phase lock loop, and it comes up here, and it supplies clock signal to this section of code here, which is a feedback on 2 proms. The clock takes values from the proms that get latched into these 175. I believe these are D-type latches. And then it feeds it back into the inputs, the addresses of the proms, to get new values. So either one of these latches is bad, or one of these proms is bad, or the values from the output of this circuit come up here to the custom chip and get fed in here to generate the sync. The actual generation of the sync comes from the custom chip. So, and you can see it's there, it's on pin 15. Oh, sorry, pin 15, sorry about that. So values from this circuit come in, and sync is output, and also video signal is output. I know the custom chip is good because I swapped it out with a Carnival board that I have that I know is working, and it worked in it. So it's not going to be this. So it's going to be either one of these latches or one of these proms. I don't know. I'm going to start probing. First, I'll look at the latches because that's going to be the easiest thing to replace. I'm going to have those. The proms, those are 32 by 8 proms. They're a common prom, but they're getting hard to find, and they're expensive. So I would want to engineer around using those 2 guys and put a single large EEPROM like I've done on my other boards if one of those turns out to be bad. So let me probe around, and I'll be back. So I probed around in the circuit, and I am observing that all of the outputs from the proms are active. Some of them look weak or whatever, but they are bouncing. But on some of these chips, I'm not seeing that signal make it in. I'm not seeing it get to the inputs. So it's looking like the sockets or traces, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be the sockets for these 2 proms. So I'm going to start by replacing the 2 socket proms and see if we can't get the sync working. I'll be back. Okay, so I got the sockets replaced, and I went ahead and hooked up all the colors, and we've got all the colors there now, red, green, and blue, and we've got a good solid sync, although the width of the screen is, the width of the picture is too large for the screen. So I'm wondering if the crystal size is not fast enough. Not sure. Anyway, so I mean, it's probably going to play fine. We'll just have to get the game running. So anyway, what we have now is solid sync, but the game program is not running. At this point, I think it's a ROM problem because we're getting no activity. Let me cycle the power. See, it comes up just pretty much solid immediately. If the game was trying to run anything, the graphics on the screen would change. Like if it was a bad RAM, for example, I think we would see garbage on the screen, like constantly changing garbage. This is a solid thing. So the program is just not running. It's going and getting into an infinite loop and stopping. And whatever garbage is in the memory is what's being displayed. Some of these ROMs, or I'm sorry, some of the RAMs are probably bad. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hook up the red yet. So that's just green and blue. Sorry. Yeah, let me poke that in there and see what we get when I plug red. I mean, it's not gonna make the game run, just make the picture look different with red. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like with red. If I can get it to stay in the hole there. Well. Yeah, let's go off to the side here then. Well, there we go. Oh, I messed up. I hope I didn't just break something. There it goes. Anyway, it's missing red. I got to get a pin for that, and then I'll have the red. I guess that's it for today. Made good progress. The main thing was to get the harness built, and I need to tape it off. I can do that. Finish that up. No controls. This is just the graphics and the power. I'll add the controls at a later date. All right, that's it for this video.